This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, Sarantaj and Pardu. Hope I am audible to you. So today and tomorrow we will be discussing about important concept that is related to monitoring services. So that will be the end of this AWS course today, and tomorrow we are going to wind up this AWS course. So what actually in terms of interview, especially, and as well as in terms of especially, I'd like to take this session in terms of interview point. In terms of interview point, there will be questions on which tool do you use to monitor your servers. So that will be the question. That's the question. There will be 100% question on these things. Without monitoring tools, without knowing monitoring tools, attending an interview, there is no use. So, and also the people who provide courses, they won't cover monitoring tools. They won't cover monitoring tools. You can see anywhere, even if it is AWS or DevOps or anywhere, no one is going to cover the monitoring tool. But in an interview, the first question will be, which tool do you use for monitoring services? At that time we don't know about monitoring tools, then definitely we are going to fail in that interview, and we are going to need to face some issues. So that's the reason I have included, though I have not included in the curriculum, but I have decided to teach about monitoring tools for these services. So what we are going to learn as a part of this monitoring tools today and tomorrow. So today we will learn about basics, tomorrow we will learn about advanced topics. So the first thing is we need to learn about monitoring tools. We have CloudWatch. From the console perspective, we have CloudWatch. We have seen already. We have seen these things in our previous classes. We have CloudWatch. Though there is CloudWatch, why we are using other tools? Why we are going for other tools? That will be the question. Because in CloudWatch, it is a service where we are monitoring the resources, but there will be some charge. If I go there, search from Google's perspective, CloudWatch monitoring charges. If you look into this table, if you look here, I can able to see some charges for CloudWatch. You can get started with Amazon CloudWatch for free. Okay, that's good. But when we go behind the limits, he is saying that they are going to be charged. Basic monitoring charge at 5 minutes per frequency, and detailed charge for 1 minute per frequency. If I go for the paid type, I can able to see based on the region, there are some charges. If you go there, for 10,000 metrics, there are $0.30 charges. For 10,000 metrics, it is $0.30. And if I go for pricing examples, if I go for EC2 monitoring, see here, if we run if your application runs on 10 EC2 instances, 24/7, I have 10 servers. I am running 10 servers for 24/7 environment for a period of 30 days, then the charges would be $21. That's what it is saying. We are seeing a word metrics. So what metric stands for? That would be the question. So metric means generally they are related to the resources of a server, like disk usage, disk utilization, or CPU utilization, or free space. For example, I have a server. We have a server, and the disk space of this server is full. The space of this server is full, and we didn't monitor this server. We didn't monitor this server. What will happen in this case? What will happen? There is no space. If there is an incoming request, the server is going to won't fill that request. The server fails to fill that request. So that would be the issue. So therefore, what will happen in these cases is there should be some monitoring tools. So if I go for CloudWatch, just now we have seen an example. If I run 10 instances for 24/7 environment, then I'm going to be charged for $21. That's what this example says. $21. That means mostly CloudWatch metrics charges are 0.30 per custom metric. If you look here, the charges are 0.30. But when we use free tools, we have free tools which are open source tools, like we have Grafana. We have tools like Grafana. We have a tool Grafana, and we have Prometheus. We have one more tool, that is Prometheus. So these are open source tools. So why we are learning two tools here? That would be the question. So the main intention is, with the dashboard of Prometheus is not good. That's the reason we are using Grafana. So this one is a different monitoring tool, and this one is a different monitoring tool. If it is Grafana, the dashboard and the visualization part, it is very good. But in terms of Prometheus, the visualization and dashboard is not well defined. So that's the reason we choose integration with Grafana and Prometheus. So these are the things which we are going to cover. So one more thing is, we need to look at an important thing that is known as node exporter. That would be the term we are using here, node exporter. So what is this node exporter? That would be the question. So we need to pull the server. If this is the server, assume that this is the server. We need to pull the logs. I mean CPU utilization of this server. We need to pull the CPU utilization of this server, as well as we need to pull, for example, if the requirement is to know hard disk of this server, or if the requirement is we need to know how many instances or how many servers are running actively, or if the requirement is like I need to know the disk space utilization. So in those cases, there need to be something that is going to export these resources, and that is done with the help of node exporter. That's what a node exporter is going to do. So let's go and provision these environments now. So we need three things now. So one is we need Prometheus, and the second one is we need Grafana, and third thing is we need a node exporter. So these are the basic requirements which we need to provision the environment. So therefore we need to provision with three servers. We need three servers. So one for Prometheus installation, one for Grafana installation, and third one is for Node Exporter installation. So let's provision this environment. Let's go to services. Go to EC2. We need to launch 3 servers now. So if you have open your laptop, please you can do with along with me. That would be a good way. If you have a laptop, you can do along with me. So let's launch instance. Let's use this Linux machine. Let's launch all the instances at a time. So account is 3. Let's do 3 here. Let's open the topic to anywhere. So all traffic, let it be anywhere, and let it will also be anywhere. Let's save this, launch it. Their name is had. Let's launch this server. We are launching 3 instances right now. Go to these servers. So we have 3 instances. Let's name them. The first one would be the node exporter. As per our discussion, we have to think this as a node exporter. That's it. Let's save this one. The second one would be we'd like to install Prometheus. Third server would be we will be installing Grafana. Okay, that's it. We have launched 3 servers. Let's log into the node exporter server. We know how to log in. Let's use this IP. Let's log into this server. Yeah, successfully we have logged into the server. Let's install Prometheus. If you have laptop, you can do along with me. That would be very great. Nice. So let's go to Prometheus. So we need to go to the website prometheus.io. Let's go there. So this is the site where we are going to, from here we are going to download the first thing, node exporter. I'm not finding from the console's perspective. Let's click on download. Let's go there. So you can see here different things. The Prometheus monitoring system and alerts, alert manager. We'll discuss these things as the sessions progress. Graph exporter and MySQL database node exporter. So this is the one which we are installing on Linux box. So let's use this one. Copy this Linux, copy this address, and let's install here. So let's go. Let's become the root. We need to become the root, and let's install it in OPT folder. Okay, let's install it in OPT folder. So let's get the URL. Yeah, that's it. Let's clear the screen now. We have get.url. If I list ls, I can able to see uh, node exporter linux star.gz. Let's untab this one. So sudo tar except followed by this one. Okay, now that's it. Let's list the files again. You can able to see this node exporter. This is the one that is required. Let's rename this one. So to rename this node exporter, we can able to use mv command. So sudo mv, and this is the one which we need to rename. Let's use this one here, and we need to rename it to node export. So that's it. Now let's list the files now. I can able to see the renamed file as a node exporter. So that's the first thing which we need to do here. We know why we are using a node exporter. We know that one why we are using a node exporter. So that's it. That's how we need to configure the node exporter. So let's move to the node exporter. So the use of node exporter, we know that we are using node exporter in order to collect the metrics like CPU utilization, hardware configurations, or disk utilization, like that. Let's move there, and let's move to the node exporter, and let's list the files there. You can able to see a node exporter. That's what we need to require, and that's what we need to start. So when we start this node exporter, it is going to gather the CPU utilization, disk utilization of the instance, how many instances are running, all those things. So let's start the agent now. So sudo dot slash this one node exporter. That's what we need to start. So let's use this one. Yeah, successfully it has started. If we see here, the node exporter is running on port 9100. Okay, the node exporter is running on port 9100. So successfully we have configured the node exporter. The next thing would be we need to configure. The next thing, as per our discussion, we need to install Prometheus server. So let's go ahead and install it on another server. Let's use the IP. Go to EC2. Go to running instances. So that's it. This one is the Prometheus server. Let's use this public IP of this server and log into this server. So we have installed node exporter, and now we need to install prometheus.io. Key add is the key name. That's it. So now the question is how we need to install Prometheus. So if you go to the website, if I go to the Prometheus website, we go to the Prometheus website. If I scroll up, I can able to see a block that is related to Prometheus. You see this one, I can able to see here. If it is a Windows machine, we need to use this one. If it is a Linux, we need to use this one. So it is a Linux machine, so copy this link address. That's what we need to do. Let's copy this address and let's install from. So let's become the root and let's move to OPT folder and let's get the URL. That's it. It is going to install Prometheus here successfully. If you look here, it has installed Prometheus. Let's tab this file sudo. Let's list and tab them. Let's see what we need to tab. Let's list these files. This one we need to tab. So what we need to tab now, we have got an idea. So sudo tab this Prometheus server. This is the Prometheus server tab path. Let's tab this one. I need to use except followed by link. Yes. Now let's list the files. We lose the files as usual. We are seeing the name with the help of Prometheus with its respective version. So let's rename that one using mv command. Let's clear this one and let's list the files. So let's rename this one. We know how to rename. We know how to rename that file. Thus it will be simply we need to use mv command sudo mv6 sudo mv. This is what we need to rename. Use this one. I would like to rename it to Prometheus. Okay, that's it. That's all. We have renamed it. Let's go to the name. Let's list that files. Yeah, we have successfully seen it. Let's move to Prometheus. Let's move there. We have moved to Prometheus. Let's list the files. We look here. I can able to see a .yaml file. So we can able to see the .yaml file. Now we need to edit the .yaml file from the Prometheus service. If we look there, let's go to Prometheus. Let's go here. We need to edit that .yaml file. Let's see where that file is present. Can't able to see the file from here. Can't able to see the file. We file name. Where can we see the Prometheus file? Let's click here. Let's see if go there. It has downloading. That's not the thing which we need. We need to edit Prometheus file. Need to edit that Prometheus file, but here we are unable to see that Prometheus file. Let's get it from Prometheus. We are in that folder only. Let's look. No, we are not seeing that file here. So we can able to see that Prometheus file. Let's look at the console level. Sudo vi space file name prometheus.yml file. So yeah, this one is the file which we are talking about. So here we need to configure the static configurations. If we look here, let's go to insert mode. So if we look here at the bottom stage, we can able to see static configurations followed by targets. What does it mean? So we are seeing one thing here that is related to targets with the name localhost colon 9090. So this represents the Prometheus servers this one, that's it, that's the Prometheus server. But this is not the one which we need to configure. We need to configure Prometheus on the port with respect to the node exporter, because this Prometheus server needs to get the details of our servers from the node exporter. Let's go there. Let's use the private IP of this Prometheus server. So this is the Prometheus server. Let's use its private IP. Let's use its private IP. Okay, this is the private IP of this server, and put the private IP under the file. So let's go there. So let's put this private IP of this file followed by the port. We know the node port exporter runs on port 9100. So let's put these things here. Let's put it comma space. So let's put the private IP followed by the port. What is the port? We have seen that the node exporter runs on port 9100. So this is the port where it is going to run. We know this one from our previous. That's how we need to set installation. So that's it. Escape. Space is not needed. Space is not needed. Okay, let's save this file. Okay, that's it. We have edited that file. Now we need to, let's start the Prometheus now. Sudo / that's the script we need to start. This one is the script of this Prometheus file. Let's start the script. Wow, that's good. That's it. It is receiving the configuration file. See here, the server message. We have to look at the message. The server is ready to receive the web request. Wow, that's great. We have configured it. Have configured, and if you look at the things here, if you look at the message at the end of the list file, list last line, the server is ready to receive web request. Okay, that means we have configured the Prometheus server successfully. So one more thing which we need to configure, is we need to look at, as we need to install Grafana. So why we need to install Grafana? Before that one, I would like to explore an important feature of that Prometheus. If I go to the server, let's use the IP of that server. Let's use the Prometheus IP. Let's use the public IP of Prometheus server. This one, right? Let's go there and use this public IP. Followed by port. Port is 9100. Is this the port? Okay. The port is not working here. Let's see what is the port of Prometheus port number. Prometheus port. That's it, 9090. That's an important thing. That's the Prometheus port number 9090. But for the node exporter which we have installed, for that the port is 9100. That's an important thing. For node exporter, the port is 9100. But the port for Prometheus is 9090. Okay, let's use the private IP here, followed by the port of Prometheus 9090. Yeah, I can able to see now it has I can able to see alerts. We will discuss these things in depth tomorrow. Graph. Let's go to alerts. As of now, we have not configured any alerts. If I go to graph, we didn't configure anything. So let's go to Prometheus dashboard. Let's go to Prometheus dashboard. We go to status. Let's go to targets. Targets are representing our servers. So if we look here, the server one is down and another one is up. So this one is the default thing which is not needed for us. This is the server which we are monitoring. So 9090. This is the port which we are monitoring. If we go there, it won't open generally. Move back. So this is the port which we are monitoring. If you look at the dashboard here, it is not very good. This is the dashboard of Prometheus server, but the dashboard is not very good for the Prometheus server. It's not very good. Okay. So let's install Grafana. That's the reason we go for installing Grafana. The dashboard of Prometheus is not a good one. It can't be visualized in a good way. So that's the reason we need to install Grafana. Let's install Grafana server. Let's install Grafana on this instance. Let's use the IP of this server. Let's log into the start server. Sessions. Let's become the root as usual. Let's move to OPT folder. Okay, we are in the OPT folder. Let's install Grafana. Let's go to Grafana website. So we are in the website of Grafana. Grafana is the world's popular tool for monitoring metrics and monitoring logs. So in a good visualization part, if you look here, look at the graph. Wow, that's wonderful. That's very nice. That's a good visualization things. Look there. We are going to explore them as well. Don't worry about these things. We are going to explore all these things. So Grafana, see here, you can able to see Kubernetes logs management. There will be an event on November. So MongoDB. So everything we are going to see here. But the thing is here we need to install Grafana. So if we want to install Grafana, we need to look at the download option. Let's go there. So we have two versions here: run free open source and enterprise pair on premises for Grafana. Get a 30-day Grafana cloud trial. So these are the things which we are seeing here. These are the things which we are seeing in terms of download part. So these are the two things. So let's go to Grafana enterprise, not needed. If you click on download, it is going to download the file. So it has opened a link for us. It has opened a link for us. We need to look at. We need for Windows Server. So if you look there, it has standalone Linux binaries. Look here, we have Red Hat 64-bit for installations. Let's scroll down, choose your configuration options. So everything he is giving here. So the first thing is we will be going with a default Grafana installation. We will be going with simple OSS releases. I mean Linux. Let's use this one. Let's use this one for releasing using Grafana. Let's use this tar file. Get the URL, copy the link address. So let's use it. You get Grafana. Okay, that's the first thing which we need to do. By list the files, you can able to see one Grafana file. And one more important thing which we need to create is we need to create a repository file. Let's look for a repository file for Grafana. So we are not seeing any files here from the console's perspective, but we need to search that file and get the required repository file. Grafana OS release versions. Grafana OS release version. That's the way to search that file. Grafana OS release versions. Here the file is not present. Let's see this one. Okay, here also the file is not okay. Let's install as usual. We are not seeing that file. Let's see what will happen when we install in a simple way. We have installed on Linux machine. This is the one which we have configuring. Let's get that URL. I think this one is the one which we have used. This one we have used. Let's get this one. Okay, that's nice. We have installed it successfully. Let's start the Grafana service. Sudo service service name Grafana dot Grafana dot service init not found. The command is sudo Grafana. Let's check out the command. The Google console, how to start Grafana. And for Grafana. So if you scroll down, this is the URL which I'm talking about. So Grafana installation part. So this is the URL which I am talking about. If you look here, these are the things which you need to do. So sudo service Grafana server start. So this is the command which we need to use. So let me put this URL in chart window. That will be very good for you as well, because you won't need to search these things again and again. So let's use this. Start this server. The service command supports to use systemctl. Okay, we need to use systemctl. Sudo systemctl sudo systemctl service name Grafana server -start.
Like systemctl. No. Jafar.
Yes, Sarantaj.
Yeah, systemctl. Can type systemctl.
Your voice is something low. Could you please?
1 second. 1 second, Jafar. Can type systemctl. The spelling is wrong. Systemctl. SYS.
Yes, please. Let's look there for systemctl servers. Yeah, here I have sudo systemctl start Grafana server. Okay, let's start this one. Unit not found. What might be the issue? I think we need to use this one, sudo systemctl daemon reload. Okay, that's nice. Let's use this command, sudo systemctl start Grafana server. Unit not found. Okay, so installation on Ubuntu, we are not using Ubuntu. We are using to install. So let's go ahead and install this Grafana on. Is there any OSS releases? Let's have a look. This one which we are talking about, Grafana OSS releases. Yes, this one. Yeah, this is what we have missed. So this is the document which we need to refer. I'd like to put this in chart window. So there was some issue. We are installing it on a different configuration. Let's go to EC2. Let's launch the server and reinstall it, because we have followed the different document. We have followed a different document for Grafana installation, so that's not the one which we need to follow. So let's close, shut down this instance, third instance, Grafana instance. This is not needed. So let's launch a Grafana instance and install from there. Let's launch the server. So we have need a single instance. Okay, storage is not needed. Security group. So we need to open port all custom anywhere. It's open to any environment, and let it be, we need to allow all traffic. Let it be anywhere. Launch the server. 6, we have launched the server successfully. Let's go there. So we have terminated this server, so that's the reason it is not showing us this. So this one, it's not needed. Let's go to sessions, SSH. Let's put the public IP of the server which is now running. This is IP, and let's log into the server, and we need to install Grafana here. So we have missed a simple document, so that's the reason we failed to install it. Grafana. Okay. So if you look at the document now, if you look at the document, if we look at the documentation, this one, right, we are talking about. Yeah, this is the one we are talking about. So for enterprise releases, he is given here. We need to use OSS releases. So this is the one which you need to use the file. Let's use this file. This is the file which we need to use. And if we look here, he is giving the steps for installing Grafana, as well as if we look here, he is saying that you need to add a file to your repository with the command in this way. We need to add that file. So first add that file, and then we can able to use this thing. So let's use this one. Let's use this one, and let's go there. Let's become root. Let's edit that file. So the name of the file is, so if you look at the documentation part, okay, dot repo, okay, right. Let's edit this one. Let's go to insert mode, and we need to put the contents in that file. And the contents would be for OS releases. So this is the one which we need to put there. So this is what we need to use. This is the file. Let's put this file there. Copy this file, and let's put this file here. So this is the first step which we need to do. Okay, we have edited the file. Now we need to install Grafana. So that would be the next thing. If you look here, he is saying that install Grafana with one of these commands. I would like to go with sudo yum install Grafana. Install Grafana. Okay. File contains no section headers. Grafana.info, Grafana/l. Okay, let's see what will happen when we install Grafana. Okay, that's what we need to do. Let's start Grafana service. We scroll down, we can able to see the commands for starting the server. So these are the ones which we need to use. Sudo service Grafana server start. Is this the right command, or we need to use any other commands? That would be the right command. Yes. Service, no unit found. Sudo service Grafana If you look at the document, he's saying that add a new fold to your repository using the command. Okay, we have added that file. Choose if you want to install the Grafana under grafana.refo. Okay. Okay, we have done this one. We have put it there. Install Grafana with the following commands. So sudo yum install Grafana. Let's use this one. File dot repo contains no headers. Let's look at that file. vi/etc/repo. Okay. Let's go to insert mode. I think some contents of this file has been missing. If you look here, let's have a look at that file. Yes, it should be Grafana. Look at that file. Let's go to insert mode. Yes, it's fine now. Let's save this file. Let's start this service now. Sudo yum install Grafana. Now it is installing. Install Grafana. Okay, that's fine. Let's start this Grafana service. Sudo yum. So the command is sudo service Grafana server start. That's it. Okay, it is started by systemctl sudo service name start, and let's enable this service whenever the server reboots. The Grafana needs to automatically, it needs to start automatically. For that, the command would be we need to use enable option there. We look at the documentation. We can able to see sudo systemctl enable Grafana server. We can able to use other command as well. Let's use this command. Sudo yum enable sudo systemctl enable Grafana server. Yes, that's it. That's very fine. And an important thing to note here is Grafana runs on port 3000. That's the port number of Grafana. And whereas the port number, if we look at the port number of Prometheus is, we know that the port number of Prometheus is 9090. That's the port number of Prometheus, and the port number of node exporter is we know it is 9100. So that's it. That's the three ports. So the port number of Prometheus is 9090. The port number of Grafana is 3000. So let's explore Grafana now. Let's go to inst EC2. Go to running instances. This is the server which we have configured for. Grafana. Let's use this public IP and followed by the port address. So need these things. Followed by port number. We know it is 3000. That's the port number. Let's do this. So it's loading. We are loading the default dashboard of Grafana server. So that's it. We are here. Let's log into Grafana. Let's log in. So when we log in, it is going to ask us to change the password. this is the first thing which we need to do after login to the Grafana server. So this is the dashboard of Grafana server. We can able to see that's a cool dashboard. We scroll down, we look here, is giving tutorials, it is giving some data sources, and if we look here, you can able to create a repository, or we can go to the dashboard, or we can go to a folder, or we can go for importing. Let's go to the home page of Grafana server. We are in the home page of the Grafana server. So let's go to the data sources. So this is the one which we need to look, because we have this is the data source which we have installed as of now. Let's use this Prometheus data source. So if you look here, it is giving us some URL access authentication mechanism. So everything. So the URL is empty here. If you look there, so here as it is a Prometheus is the data source. So we need to include the IP of the Prometheus server. Let's go there and grab the public IP of the Prometheus server. You can use public or private IP. I would like to use private IP of the Prometheus server. Let's use the private IP of this Prometheus server. So this one is a private IP. And if you look here, let's put the private IP of this server. It's the private IP, and we know that we are integrating it with respect to Prometheus is integrating with respect to Grafana. So the port number of this Prometheus is 9090. So this is the one we need to give there. Let's scroll down and save and test. It is success. Yeah, data source is working. That's good. That's nice to hear. So go to dashboard. So let's go to the dashboard now. This one is not needed. Let's go to the main panel. Let's go there and let's click on import. Tomorrow we'll create new dashboards. As of now, let's import this dashboard. So when I click on import, so here we can able to see Grafana dashboard URL or ID. I can able to see one thing here. We need to give the ID of the dashboard. So what actually this dashboard is representing here? That would be the question. So we have installed, if we look here, we have installed services. We have installed services for Node Exporter, and the Node Exporter dashboard, the Node Exporter dashboard is the one which we need to give here. The Node Exporter dashboard ID would be the default Node Exporter dashboard ID is 1860. So this one. So that's the one which we need to load. 1860. Let's load this one. Yes, it has loaded. Scroll down. Let's click on import. So if you look here, it is asking us to enter a data source. So Prometheus is the data source. Let's import these things. So it is fetching the resources of the servers. So that's wow, that's cool dashboard of the servers. If you look here, so what actually we are seeing here, if you look at the CPU basic usages, so these are called as time series. These are time series. What is the time series means? So this is the time here, and this is the usage of CPU utilization 0, 25, 50. So these are referred as time series here. So if you look here, it is giving us the network traffic. So there is no traffic. So these are, we are visualizing in terms of time series. So everything we are seeing is as time series. So what is this time series means? So this is the time with respect to the time. So this is the usage of the resources. That's what the time series speaks about. So everything we are going to discuss tomorrow. So install these things tomorrow with you. So you can able to see RAM used, system load. So here, see here, it is not applicable because there is no load. Let's go to data sources. So if I look for RAM used, there is no data. So the servers are empty as of now. Tomorrow we'll explore all these things in a good way. So if you look here, storage disks, I can able to view storage disks here. Everything can be monitored. So the best use is if the server, so you look here, storage disk, these are time series. We are visualizing in terms of time series. So disk utilizations in progress. I can able to use node exporter. So I'm able to visualize network traffic. We look here, traffic. We look there, there is no traffic at all. So that's how we can able to visualize from the dashboard perspective. The best use cases are whenever the node is full and we need to enhance the server. If we don't have a dashboard, then it is difficult to manage those servers. For example, we have configured a server to receive 100 requests, but we don't know that the server is full and 100 requests has been processed and the disk space of the server is full, but we are not monitoring that server. In that case, it will be very difficult to analyze them. So if you have a monitoring tool, then we can able to fix the issues as of when needed. That's how these monitoring tools work. Tomorrow we'll explore more on these monitoring tools. And finally, we are going to conclude this course AWS tomorrow. So that's it. That's about the today's session. If you have queries, you can ask please.
Yes, Jafar, what about the Route 53? Route 53, this kind of stuff.
Surrender is asking Route 53. We need to discuss Route 53. Saran, Route 53 should be discussed, but Route 53 that would be not useful for us. That's the reason I don't want to discuss Route 53. It won't be useful for us. That's the reason I'm including Prometheus as a tool, but it's not used to discuss as Route 50. That's the reason, though we don't include Prometheus, though we have CloudWatch, we have included Prometheus and Grafana. We'll discuss them tomorrow. Prometheus and Grafana. Nobody will ask us about Route 53 7th page. They are going to ask us about 3 EC2 and these monitoring tools, IAM. Those are the basic tools as well as advanced as well. Okay, sir. Right. Any other questions, please? Pardu, do you have any questions, please? Steve, do you have any questions? Okay, try to install these things in your PCs as well. That would be a great thing. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you. Hope tomorrow we'll meet at same time. We'll be concluding this course. Right? Thank you everyone.